I'll come back on Oh Lucky Man, but you just said Clockwork Orange. Have you any idea how Kubrick get the idea to ask you to play the part?
Well, Stanley told me that when his lawyer sent him this novel by Anthony Burgess, Clockwork Orange, Stanley had just seen If. He saw it 4 times. He really loved the film. And when he started to read the novel, from the 3rd page, he just saw my face all the time. I don't know why.
Tell me why.
I don't know why. You'll have to ask him. Well, that's more difficult than it sounds, actually, because he never ever does a television or very rarely does any press interviews. I think probably he's correct, because he's not an articulate man in that way. He's a brilliant director, but he's not like Mr. Anderson, who is a marvelous raconteur. You know, he has the command of the English language. Stanley is very quiet, really, and thoughtful. So he doesn't do many. Never does television ever, I don't think. And for him, he's right. He's right.
Yes, he lives in his villa,
Yeah.
and a little bit apart.
Oh, he's a totally self-contained unit. He has all these buildings all over his garden. I mean, they're tents, you know. One of them has a ping-pong table in it. The other has the cutting rooms, storage rooms for camera equipment, all this kind of thing. He's a totally self-contained unit. He does his own sound mixing.
Sound mixing. Good sound. Spur? Yes, you just told me that Kubrick is living with all his machines, telex, ping-pong table, and...
Yeah. Well, he's the most disorganized, organized man I've ever met, because he has so many filing systems, he cannot remember where anything is. They're all marvelous systems on their own, but he has maybe 4 or 5 or 6, and he can't remember where anything is, you know. I remember asking him for some photographs of a location. I wanted to look at them and see. Couldn't find them. Took him 2 weeks to find them. Incredible. But he's an extraordinary man. I think the extraordinary thing about these great directors is that they are able to create an atmosphere where you can create, and this is very important. And this is what, actually, Stanley Kubrick and Lindsay Anderson have in common. They can do this. I think Stanley is much more a satirist, and Lindsay a humanist. I think that is the basic difference between the two.
Yes, and maybe that Lindsay Anderson is also a satirist a little bit.
He's a satirist, but in the end, and this is the core of his work and what he is as a human being, he's a humanist, and he, I think, loves the human race, really.
About Kubrick, one last question. How is he on the stage?
Oh, he's never worked on the stage.
Yes, of course, but I repeat my question.
How
is he during the shooting,
oh, fantastic.
directing?
You see, there's this myth going around that Stanley is in complete control, which is not true, because Stanley never knows where to put the camera, he barely knows what scene we're shooting, and he comes in with no preparation, but that's because he's an artist, you see. And any director who knows what he's going to do, a very poor director, because he must use the elements that happen, the spontaneity that happens on the set. And he's able to do that. And, I mean, some of the scenes the actors wrote themselves in Clockwork Orange. The whole of the end scene with the mouth opening up and taking the food at the end of the film, it was completely just done on the spur of the moment. The singing in the rain sequence was something that came into my own head, and I started to sing it. I was kicking, the stunt man, and slapping the woman, and started to singing in the rain, something that just happens.
That's very strange, because when you see the picture, you have the idea that everything is prepared and...
Oh, well, he's clever, too. I mean, he's very clever, Stanley, It's absolutely true that he couldn't really, he couldn't work by knowing exactly what was going to happen. He much prefers, if he likes an actor, and there's not many actors he trusts, very few, very, very few. If he trusts you, then he'll go with you and you can do practically anything for him. And he's marvellous to work. For me, he was marvellous. Some of the other actors, not quite so good. But then I worked with him, just shooting every day for 7 months. 7 months, long time.
It's a violent picture.
It's violence of the mind. It's not violent. You see more violence on the news program. You see more violence in a John Wayne film. Because John Wayne always shoots, and you always feel, oh, good old John Wayne, he's the goodie and he shot the baddie. And it's an emotional response, I personally feel that it's more violence of the imagination, of the mind. I think the film is very important because the statement it makes is about the freedom of human beings to choose. And that's more important than any of these sensational elements that the press and people have been talking about.